Anyway, we're recording now.
Oh, well.
Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
We're all very excited to be here today, I see. Let's try to keep a brisk pace. We're running a little behind. I'm DM Stray. I have a new icon. It's just my Discord avatar. Hooray. God damn you, Milo. It's been 3 minutes, dude.
The joy of cats.
The cat comes a-knocking.
Hi. We're not going to address that. Move on.
Speaking of moving on. Gideon.
For thousands of years, I lay dormant. Gideon is a perfectly average human fighter from Wolfcron, the place where the orphans get crushed. He survived somehow.
Genetically engineered to explode, and that may not, in fact, be a joke.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. He somehow made his way through the military ranks, and now he's here on an assignment. And he met some goofballs. Now he's in way over his fucking head.
Cezanne.
I'm Rallief. I'm playing Cezanne, the human cleric of the party. He left on a journey to learn more about his goddess, and this has led him to exploring the Gauntlet with this group.
Of goofballs.
Yes.
Speaking of goofballs, Wesk.
I'm Yuri. I play West, the Cobalt Gunslinger. Doing his best to remain as optimistic as possible going down into the 5th floor of the Gauntlet.
Wes tries to be the most serious character, but nobody lets him.
Does he? Does he really?
Sometimes.
Siri.
I am Zilly. I play Ziri. She is a animist and fawn. She likes dead and spooky things, and her little pet Chuck. And at first she wasn't sure why she's here. She's not completely sure why she's here right now, but she's pretty sure that she's kind of doomed and sucked into it, especially after that little encounter she had with she who shall not be named. But
That's
yeah,
okay.
she's just trying to stay alive.
Me waking up at 4 a.m. every day. Regardless.
There you go.
Real quick, 1 hero point. Give us a rundown of what happened last time.
Last time we made it down to floor 5 in search of Ren, we encountered more Starfallen immediately, and man, shit was fucked. Well, I guess I should start from the beginning. In the beginning, we were trying to get the last item needed to break the barrier down to the 5th floor. That was the Sun Sword. Obvious did not want to give it up easily, so we eventually convinced him to come with us. By merit of Cezanne's relationship with Ren.
Borrow it just for a little bit.
We're not even borrowing it, he's still right upstairs.
He has indeed refused to let go of it. Like a security blanket.
So, Tavius is at the top of the previous floor, and right at the gates of the 5th floor we encountered multiple Starfallen and a thing. I don't know what that thing is, but it was spider-like, and I'm not interested in dealing with it right now. So we locked that thing out through a very heavy door, and now we're exploring the 5th floor currently.
It's good enough for me. Let's hop right back into it, shall we? One last little point here before we begin. Does anybody remember what you found in this room?
Yes, a visage of the sky, but the not our sky.
Correct. distant constellations none of you have seen before. Those of you who are even passively trained in nature were unable to identify any constellations.
Yeah.
Which is literally everyone we'd get in.
I had taken note of it, done my best to make a quick sketch.
Okay.
Okay.
Note that down somewhere in your notes, and we will
Yep.
pick up right off where we left. Exploring floor 5. What would everyone like to be doing?
I think if we proceed a little further onwards, we could get a bit of a better view.
Huh? Yeah, alright.
You can see a little bit around the corner, but that walkway there. I'll gesture towards the one overhanging.
Only ways forward, I suppose.
Movement is currently locked.
Release.
The what?
Movement is currently locked.
Why is movement currently locked?
Oh yeah, movement is
Solid
locked.
question.
Sigh. It's always something with Foundry. Try now.
Yeah, it's
Excellent.
Still good? Okay. Alright. As each of you advance, you do see another westward hallway where you just came from, and a hallway that spirals off to the east and the north from here. Is anybody taking any special actions as you advance?
Lighten up the sconce.
Very well.
Does the display of the sky continue all the way down the hallway?
It essentially starts here, where the doorway opens, and continues until the hallway opens up to the south.
Harry won't be doing anything
Ceiling.
super specific, mostly just taking in the constellations and seeing if she recognizes anything.
I mean, likewise.
I will allow you.
Is this supposed to be a wall?
My
This
guess
is
is that they
supposed to be
couldn't.
a one-way passage because of how this overhang works.
Got it.
Yeah.
Regardless, I will allow. Cezanne, you said you are also doing this.
Yeah.
I will let you give me a nature, occult, astrology, any sort of star-related lore if you would like to. The ceiling is about 20 feet overhead of this overhang, so about 40 feet up from the lower floor. So
Wait, 1 second. What is the... Why, when I click astrology, is it giving me an astrolabe button?
An astrolabe button. What?
Could be your astrolabe, but I don't know why it's giving you that button for lore astrology.
Yeah. Oh, if I interact for a minute, I can get a +1 to
Yes,
identify
there
celestial
you go.
bodies, but I'm not going to interact for a minute at this given time.
Very well.
Okay. This work. Because I figure we're not going to be walking here for a whole minute.
Probably not.
You said I can use occultism.
Yep, occultism, or if you think some other suitable lore or skill would be good, go ahead. For example, you have the Dark Tapestry skill.
Ooh. Yes. I want
Because
to take
you
back my
are
other roll
Attuned
because
to
I want to use
the
something cool.
Lurker right now. What are you?
Yeah, it's the lurker.
So yes, you do have a Dark Tapestry training.
Shouldn't have taken it back.
Very
Holy crap,
good.
I just
I
looked
will
at
also
series
allow
lore
you
lists.
to re-roll that because you did not change it to trained. You're supposed to be trained in it when you have the spirit attuned to it.
Oh, damn.
Correct.
That's going to be a sizable difference.
Sure is. I will say with both of those rolls being quite good. Ziri and Sasan, you do know that these are distant stars away from Iridel. And with your lore, you would say... You do recall that the Starfallen come from a world beyond ours, but they are on the same plane as ours. And while you've not necessarily seen these stars firsthand, you do have snippets of trivia in the back of your mind of some of these constellations. And the number one thing that occurs to you is that these constellations are very ancient and very old, from a time before 0 AD, which is after darkness, when the meteors struck the world and the world was forever changed. The number one takeaway is that whatever this was that created this has to be older than 4,000 years old. That's whereas the nerds confer amongst themselves in hushed whispers. What are the marshals doing?
Peeking around the corner.
Very well. You do
Lighting
so.
the sconce.
Gideon taking time to light the sconce as he goes. Very well. The only thing you notice, Gideon, is that... So, Wesk, you're joining him?
Yes.
I will allow one of you to give me a perception check. I assume that you guys are just kind of scouting ahead for a little bit.
That would be Wesk.
Very well. You're keeping an eye out, and you don't believe that anything strange is happening, Wesk. You're keeping an eye out for traps, kind of dividing your attention amongst the nerds who have started to slow down to stare at the ceiling above, and Gideon rushing forward to light that sconce, baby.
I will light up the gauntlet if it's the last thing I ever do.
Oh, sweet summer child.
It may well be the last thing I ever do.
Very well. Notably, you are, again, this floor. Bloodstains everywhere. Cracks, scratches, and gouges in the wall. Some deep-set claws that have raked through stone here. Looks like the site of a battle has taken place every 15, 20 feet here.
Anything I can
Snapped
identify from the
chains,
markings?
rusted metals. Give me a knowledge check of your choice, and I'll tell you from there.
Sweet.
A lot of these, surprisingly, not a whole lot of common mundane weaponry could have made a dent in the wall this well. That's all you can tell from your knowledge warfare check. These types of weapons would either have to be some sort of monstrosity's claws and teeth, or a magical weapon that might surpass even your own right now.
I would say load up on some unusual bullets.
Very well, and so we go.
Those two in the dark back there.
Oh, you've
Coming
been
along.
lighting sconces.
I can never see how well lit things actually are because my own light overrides it immediately.
My apologies, I was a bit distracted there for a moment.
Those hallway
Lighting
spiral
sconces.
is off to the north, where a single solitary, heavy-set wooden door with banded iron bars greets you.
You see through the door?
No.
No, it has something behind the bars. Okay.
I'm gonna
Sorry,
make
by
an
iron
educated
banded
guess.
bars, I mean a wooden door reinforced with bars of iron.
Reinforced.
Reinforced. Words are hard. Do you want to try DMing for 3 hours straight some days?
I could try it, but it's not gonna be good.
Well, I can't wait until you say reinforced then.
Oh, I will. That and many more.
Very well. It seems like that whatever this is the end of the line for this hallway.
This looks like it loops back around to the other side now. You want to go this way right now, or go further down the Star Road?
Star Road, baby.
Maybe we
was-
should.
A little curious. It looked like there was something fairly wide open in the other direction.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm worried about. I can check it out, though. But if we spot another one of those things, we are taking off.
I have no great urge to do otherwise.
Yeah, I see the passageway ends up here, so I'm going to go ahead and jump down.
Very well.
You said it was like 10 feet down?
It is a 20-foot drop.
Would I take any damage from that?
You would. Anything further than 5 feet, you take fall damage.
Wow. Okay, then I'm going to jump down from here onto the stairs, where it should be a much smaller drop.
I would say that's about a 10 feet drop from there, yes.
So I can jump up 20 feet with no issues, but I can't jump down 20 feet.
Pretty much. I believe you can make an acrobatics check. It occurs to me now that I don't actually know this.
Yeah, I remember Huey's jumping rules being kind of odd.
No, yeah, I don't believe you can actually. I would allow you to dangle from this ledge and just kind of lower yourself. I assume you guys are each at least 5 foot, dangling 5 foot, dropping 5 foot. Minimum damage from here. Gideon lowers himself down to the floor. The rest of you joining him.
I'll probably just grab a ledge, because apparently if
Yeah.
you do that, you can reduce the fall by 20 feet,
Yep.
which would basically make that free from wherever.
I'll do my best
way,
to
I gotta get down
carefully
next.
move down.
Very well. You each one by one join Gideon. I assume you do the same
He
as your...
stops to think about the climbing kit that he has in the bag of holding. He decides it's not worth it.
Sure. Yes.
Very well. Up ahead, something else comes into view. A massive, wide open space down to the south. Notably, some sort of light is already there by the time you arrive. Flickering torchlight, it seems like a warm, welcome yellow glow that you've not been used to in all your time on the Gauntlet.
That is the first torch I have seen in here that I have not lit myself.
As well as
Yes,
it's
it's
just a small
peculiar.
reminder. These are statues. Looks like humanoid statues that have been damaged beyond repair, mostly. Vaguely resembling strange creatures. I would need knowledge checks to identify a couple of these things between their damage and them not being a common race.
I will knowledge check.
Very well, go ahead and give me an occult or nature. Very well, Ziri. Some of these are not typically creatures that would be made into statues. It's a little strange to see them here. Some of these are things like flesh warps and driders. Not exactly heroic statues. It strikes you as a little odd that somebody might have sculpted these into these sorts of plinths, these totems.
I'm gonna take a look around. Are these statues in abnormal positions by any chance?
Give me a perception check. Give me a follow-up medicine check.
I have a feeling that these statues may not have been lovingly crafted.
You don't know the first thing about interior decor, but you do notice that pretty much every single one of these statues has been toppled over. And it strikes you as odd that all of them are toppled over. You don't really get a weird feeling about the rest of them.
I think we should be cautious about going ahead.
Agree.
Wise.
Um,
More cautious than
gonna-
normal.
kind of wander up to one and could I inspect it a little more closely to see if I notice anything that might be weird about
Sure.
a sculpture?
I'll let you do forensic acumen. So roll your medicine and then a perception check.
Medicine. And then a perception. Oh,
What is your
yeah,
luck
baby.
tonight?
Bad, apparently.
It happens
Just,
sometimes.
you know. I'm gonna use a
I'd
hero
like to
point
point
on
out
that, I guess.
that her crit fail is still better than mine.
And then a perception, you said?
Yep. Go ahead and roll that medicine for me again, Siri, since you used your hero point.
Oh, sorry. It's not a flat thing anymore. I
All
guess.
right,
Oh,
no, you're
yes.
absolutely right, it is.
It is a flat thing. Okay.
Ziri, the first thing you notice is that these statues have been partially eaten. You're able to tell what tore these things apart to some creature with a very strong jaw. These things, and you're slowly piecing it together, were not always statues. These were living creatures, and something has dined on them.
Figured something out for the first time ever before you told me what it was. I'm so proud. Love Medusa.
Yeah.
Well, I've got bad news. It's not a Medusa.
I have an inkling of what it is.
You've pieced it together now. This is the mark of basilisks.
Yup.
You've heard myths and stories, but you can give me an Arcana or Nature check if you really want to. Would you like to inform your party, kind of narrating your thought process again?
Yes.
Very well. Anyone who would like to, give me an Arcana or Nature check.
God damn these rolls. Well,
I mean, you can just always rely on Wesk and Cezanne, apparently. The basilisk is an 8-legged reptile that is always incredibly pissed off. It turns creatures to stone with its gaze, and its jaws are powerful enough to devour and crunch stone. That's kind of how it hunts. As usual, they are the result of an experiment of a mad wizard that twisted snakes, roosters, and dragons together. They actually prefer their flesh turned to stone before dining on it. Its incredibly potent stomach acids digest stone as well. Altogether, they are incredibly nasty, incredibly temperamental beasts. They typically grow to be about 13 feet long from head to tail and at about 300 pounds. They're quite easy to hear because they typically make a low hissing sound when they move. Typically solitary hunters, they only work together to mate and lay eggs.
May I listen
wanna
to
go
see if there's
that
any
way.
hissing sounds nearby?
Sure. In fact, everybody go ahead and give me a perception check, if you would, please.
Don't like the fact that the combat there is already up.
I've got bad news about
Things
what I
could
rolled.
be anywhere.
Is that a fifth dice I see?
Damn, Wes rolling some fucking hot ass.
Somebody's gotta.
Right?
Not me.
We're over here rolling 5s or less.
I will say if this is
Five, speak for yourself.
if this
Nat
is
ones all day.
initiative, I do have a +2 from Incredible Initiative.
Very well. You do have a +2, however, that will not make a difference in this one.
Okay.
Wes,
Dead regardless. Excellent.
as Ziri begins to describe their hunting patterns, you begin to realize that that hissing sound is here. And 2 shadowy creatures creep around the corner. Your party members have not yet spotted them yet. They are here and here. What would you like to do?
I am going to... Dusk is going to step over towards Ziri and move her behind him.
Very well. Ziri, you're minding your own business, narrating your thoughts when Wes flash steps into action.
What the? But kind of try not to trip over herself, but allow it.
Weskel raise his gun and try and point them out with the barrel of his pistol.
You do each now see the creatures making their way out of the shadows and sort of disguising themselves among the statues, their scales hissing as they begin to move into action. Where would you like to move, Ziri? Or
let's
are
say
you doing it for flavor?
right here.
Very well. Wesk throws himself in front of you as usual, Ziri. So that's one action to move and move Ziri. Go ahead and give me that into the fray and all that good stuff. Combat as usual.
I don't want to move too far away from everyone right now. More for my own safety than anything.
That's a first.
Don't necessarily feel as strong about our chances against 2 basilisks, but
We'll say if you are targeting this one, it's going to have standard cover. You can barely make it out as it comes crawling across the corner.
I figured.
You know what? I feel better about our chance against Basilisk than Starfallen. I'll take this all day.
That is a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage for me, bud. Wesk, typically the first to react, once again, stepping into the fray, positioning himself in front of his party members bravely for leveling a pistol and firing into the dark, into the statues, marking your foe for all to see. It lets out a cry of pain as they begin to advance. I believe you've got one action left, bud.
We are going to... Running reload as we step back.
Very well. Now it's where these creatures are going to immediately. Come around the corner. Stop as it notices each of you. Siri, give me a fortitude save, please.
Oh boy, we're starting already.
Uh-oh.
Mm-mm.
Siri, you are slowed 1. As your eyes meet the basilisk, sort of flicking up to see where the movement is coming by instinct before your brain can stop yourself, and your body begins to tense up. As the next basilisk comes around the corner. Wesk.
Mm-hmm.
Give me that fortitude save. Luckily, Wesk, you were able to react to where the basilisks were, and you kind of dart back, trying to interpose yourself between Siri and the basilisks. Unfortunately, it looks like she was a lot slower to react to you. You throw your hands up in front of your eyes, protecting yourself from their gaze. Cezanne, you're up. As 2 creatures come slithering out of the dark.
Okay, so can I ask for clarification on how reach spell functions?
You spend 1 action to increase a spell's range.
Right.
by-
If it is a spell that is a line spell, am I placing it 30 feet away from me?
What is the thing's range?
The spell is a... I'm not seeing a range on it. It's a 60-foot line area spell.
Inner Radiance Torrent?
Yes, can I Inner Radiance Torrent both of them by re-spelling it to the side and blasting it in a straight line across the hallway?
It would be a 90-foot line emanating from you.
Ah, okay. So,
That
Can't
would
do
be
that
pretty
idea.
hype, but unfortunately not.
but yeah. I just wanted to know if it became a longer line or if it became a place the line.
No. It is a longer
Okay.
line.
Okay. Let's just start this off pretty standard. Let's target the one that Wesk hit.
Very well. That'd be this one to the west.
Yep. And lob a lance at the thing, hoping to catch it off guard.
I should really give you the new Divine Lance.
Is there a new one?
Yeah, bud. They got rid of the alignment stuff.
Oh,
Let me see what I can do here. Very quickly, I'm going to get rid of your old one and give you this one.
should I?
This. There we go. That's your
Should
new
I
Divine
recast
Lance. Yep. Go ahead. Just does spirit damage without needing a very nice. That is a crit.
Nice.
Some crit damage, please.
Okay, how do I turn this into crit damage?
Can it crit? Is it a save?
It can.
It's not a save.
It is a.
I just see roll
Yes.
damage.
Yep. Just roll the damage.
Oh, okay. And you'll double it, got it. Or will it auto?
We just double it, bud.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a double button, but Stray usually takes care of it.
This thing takes 18 points of sanctified spirit damage. This is on streaks out a pure burning white hot beam of sanctified power. I believe you've got 1 action left, bud.
Yes, I should.
Do it.
Okay.
Gun it is.
It's not gonna hit,
That was
but
an
it was
11
funny.
hit.
Tucking his rifle under his... No. Tucking his rifle under his arm, one hand extended, firing a beam of holy light. The other bullet flies completely wide. Wesk, you would be insulted if you weren't in so much danger right now. Siri, you are up. You are seized up and only get 2 actions because of slowed this turn.
Do I know anything about what these creatures might be weak to?
I would say with your earlier check, yes. Go ahead and ask whatever question you would like to. Or is that your
Right.
specific question?
Yeah, that's the specific question. Are they weak to any specific types of magic? I'll go with.
They have no weaknesses as per, like, extra damage, but they're slow, laborious hunters, so their reflex save is very bad.
That's solid knowledge.
Do I know how to, or how it works to, like, recover from the condition that they cast on you?
Let's see, with your earlier one, yes. If you kill a basilisk and drain it of its blood, as long as it's fresh blood, it will immediately counter effect any petrified. You can typically get about 3 coatings worth out of 1 basilisk, so you could unpetrify 3 people with as much blood as this thing has. Assuming, of course, it hasn't been dead for over an hour.
We
The
are
really important thing right now is to not meet its gaze again, Siri.
Is that something I have to declare that I'm trying not to do? Or is that just kind of out of my hands?
That's just kind of out of your hands. This thing
Understandable.
that is how this thing hunts. It is very good at catching your gaze.
Alright, I am gonna try this, I guess.
Very
Yeah.
well.
Place. Do I place the burst first?
Yep.
The first burst.
The first burst, indeed.
The first burst is the deepest.
Very well. You immediately flame.
That's 30 feet.
Unfortunately,
Whoops.
this thing...
Today's the day I die.
Yeah, I'm rolling hot tonight. It's not great. Unfortunately, Ziri, your body is tensing up, and before you can really get a good shot at this thing, you release your spell, and it easily leaps to the side onto the wall, letting the acid spray all over a few of the statues that are already damaged. They sizzle and pop harmlessly underneath it, but it's now marked you as a threat. I believe that's the end of your turn, however, as you are all out of actions. However, you are, I believe, no longer slowed 1. No, you are still slowed 1 until the beginning of your next turn. Gideon, you're up.
Can I do a quick recall knowledge on my basilisk lore?
Give me a nature or arcana check. These things are weak
That's
to
nice.
fire. These things...
I'm gonna call dubious knowledge on that.
You don't have dubious knowledge.
All of my knowledge is dubious, Stray.
Yep. You are a fighter. Take everything you say with a grain of salt. Regardless, you got
Gideon
3 actions
skipped
left.
most of his coursework during his...
We'll chalk it up to Gideon is used to fighting other humanoids.
There we go. Alright. This is within 25 feet, right? Yeah, cool. I actually don't need to use the thing for once. I can just stride.
You can indeed stride. That is legal.
And yet a rare action for Gideon to take. Alright.
Gideon, I've
We're
got
gonna open it up.
terrible news. As you begin to charge forward into this room, you realize this arena is not empty.
Hmm.
Oh dear God.
Oh my god!
What is that?
That's a good question.
Whatever this thing is currently sleeping and dormant, it looks like. But it is a congealed mass of some type of flesh, several dozen different heads, vaguely serpentine with humanoid features. But it doesn't seem to have noticed what's going on.
Well, this changes the dynamic of things.
I am going
Basilisk.
to assist with the snagging strike with a fake out.
Very well, go for it.
Those days.
That is still a success.
Hey.
You get a +1 to this roll, which
Hey.
that is a crit. It is 28 points of slashing damage and 2 points of fire damage, and this thing is now off guard. As this thing leaps to the
wasn't
wall
already.
to dodge the acid spray from Ziri, Gideon runs up and it realizes it has to come down on top of Gideon now as he catches it, slamming his blade up into its soft underbelly and kicking it into some of the rubble and ruins. I believe you've got 1 action left.
I do. Well, with the knowledge of what we're doing now, I'm doing this.
Very well. Gideon raises his shield for the first time in the entire campaign. Wesk,
Not the first time, just the first time in several levels.
in several levels. Wesk, fortitude save.
Yeah.
Very well. Thankfully, Gideon is interposing himself between you and the basilisk, making it rather easy to dodge this thing's gaze. You've got your 3 actions. What are you doing?
We are going to.
That's a hit. It is
31 doesn't crit. Holy shit.
where you see 31.
Oh, did that
29.
account for off guard? I don't think it
Off
did.
guard lowers its AC.
Yep.
Ah, just naturally rolls. Okay.
That is
And
10
we're-
points more of pierce damage as a bullet flies through the air, slamming into this thing, finding its mark handily.
Going to. Running reload. Mm,
Don't think they're that tough physically. I think you can get up here.
You
It's
think so?
really the
Okay.
petrification.
case, I will.
Wesk charges into the fray.
And
Just don't wake the thing.
That is a hit because of off guard.
That time I saw it.
That is a decent hit too. This thing
Oh,
takes
God.
10 points of slashing damage from Wesk as he 1-2 follows up, runs in to help his buddy. That is, however, this thing's counterattack. Yeah, I guess we'll play ball. Nope, that's
Uh-oh.
not what I wanted. What is that? 23? What is your fortitude save anyway? Just barely. Very nice. Gideon, you fall prone as this thing manages to kick up amongst the rubble, even under all the beating it's taken. And it spins, whirls, catches you with its tail, and knocks you flat on your ass. As it then proceeds to try and savage you. With
Just gonna
its
desperately
stone-crushing
wail the
jaws.
shield out there.
You sure do. You do an admirable job keeping it away from you. Gideon, fortitude save.
Yep.
Alright, luckily you are too distracted right now fending off this thing's jaws attacks to meet this thing's gaze.
I guess I should be thanking this one.
You, Wesk, are going to get hit to crit. Damn. So close. You take 9 points of pierce damage as the thing's fangs sink into you. Cezanne, you are up.
Yes, I am. Oh,
Give me a fortitude save.
Optima-
You're a lucky bastard.
let's see, optimally, I just out Gideon here. Raising yet another divine lance. I'm going to attempt to strike the creature without striking the very large fighter underneath it that it is tussling with.
You may certainly try.
Nope.
That is a miss, however. As your lance flies wide, nearly striking Gideon as you are trying to aim. You've got one action left.
I feel like I'm dodging a lot right now.
Come on, stay
Mostly
still
just-
once.
Flat on your ass, shield above you.
Stay still just one
Got
second.
lances, jaws,
No.
whatever the hell that was.
Also a miss. Cezanne, as you are trying to do a lot right now. Zero, you are no longer slowed. You've got 3 actions again as the basilisk's effect kind of shakes off of you.
I'm muted, sorry. I'm gonna
was
hit
about
him
to
with
tell
one
you.
of these.
Go ahead and roll that damage for me as they are going to get their basic saves. There's a failure on both. They take full damage from both.
Nice.
As one of them collapses under a strain directly on top of Gideon before he rolls it off of him to the side. You've got one action left.
Oh, that would have been a good idea. Okay, next time. Still learning these things.
Happens when you have a spell list a mile long.
Notably, as the first basilisk drops, this one seems incensed.
Me? Yeah, I guess we'll just, we'll give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want. Do the shield.
Very well. One hand extends a pale green streak of lightning that leaps from one target to the next, and with the other, Ziri pulls up a veil that shimmers into place, covering her. Gideon, you're up.
Well, you're in
I
for the
am
spiel.
up. I am also standing up.
Very well. You're also giving me a fortitude save.
Great.
Very well. Keep going. It's one action to stand.
Eh?
One action to stride.
I will fake out on his attack roll.
Very well, go ahead.
Doing it again. Oop.
We gotta fix that.
We don't need snout cam.
We don't
Snout
need
cam's
snout
great.
cam. You're not old enough to know about snout cam.
I'm gonna hero point that.
Very well. That turns it into a hit.
Understandable. Woof.
This thing takes a whopping 8 points of damage. A 1 and a 2. Let's go.
Yeah.
A whopping
Woof.
8 points of slash damage.
At least it's off guard
Gideon
if
begins
nothing
to
else.
stagger forward, trying to interpose himself between the party and the threat once more bravely. Wesk, let's see it.
Alright.
That is a hit. Roll your damage. That's 7 points of pierce damage. As Wesk begins to bob and weave between Gideon's legs, looking for a good opening.
Alright. And this. Ah.
That is a miss, however. Not necessarily because this thing's so agile. In fact, it's quite slothful and slow, but your blade bounces off of its incredibly hard, stony hide.
Well, we'll take it all the way.
Sending it. That is a miss, however.
Damn.
I don't think this changed anything, but did you apply the off guard?
What, off guard?
Snagging strike.
No, that would not change anything.
Gotcha.
But I will apply the snagging strike. Very well. This thing is up, and it is going to... Yeah, you know what? It's just going to start attacking Gideon.
Yep. Don't have the shield up this time.
It's also very pissed off at you.
Yeah, understandable.
is a hit. We're gonna roll some damage dice. Lovely d8s, my beloved. You take 19 points of pierce damage, and it's just.
I like d8s when they're not being used against me. Better.
And one
You get
more.
one. You get one.
As this thing jumps onto Gideon like a large dog, its 300-pound body threatening to drag you to the floor, Gideon, as its first bite clamps painfully onto your shoulder, crushing the metal into you. Luckily, the rest of the metal holds. It groans and creaks, snapping into place.
I'm trying my best not to scream because this thing's right down here, and I don't wanna.
Trying my best not to scream. Meanwhile, Wesk, I believe you fired a gun about 4 times now.
Listen, heat of the battle.
Tazan, you're up.
Don't I need to roll a fortitude save?
No.
Oh.
Only if the thing's staring at you. It stared at me.
Oh, okay. It's not a just being in a proximity thing. Got it.
No, it is. It just has to pick one of you. I have not picked you.
Well, yeah. I will move in. I will level the lawn air repeater and fire.
You're determined to make this thing work tonight, huh? That is a hit.
Yay, 1d4.
Damn.
We take those.
Frankly, Tazan, your heart lets out a tiny little yay as your bullet does find its mark, which is rare for you. Thankfully, you chalk it up more so to this thing being completely dedicated to devouring Gideon's left arm right now. But it does slug into its thick, stony shoulder, chipping away some of it. Got one action left.
Okay. Knowing that the thing is not going to understand the words I say, I do move to demotivate it,
Very well.
intimidate it, whatever it be.
Go for it.
Sure. That is a... Do you remind me what the roll is?
I believe it's just a straight intimidate check.
Yep.
Oh, right. Intimidate is a skill.
Is
in
its
this.
thing. It's really more my thing, but alright.
Making note of how quickly its ally's been dispatched, and whether it really wants to continue with its current path.
Unfortunately, you do not have the feat where you can intimidate without a language, so you are going to take a -4 to
Yeah,
that.
that would be this.
Yeah. I knew it would be a negative.
That's why I said it's my thing.
Take a -4 to that, and unfortunately, your words have no effect on this thing. But
Darn it.
But I appreciate it.
It was worth a shot.
I fully agree.
Zero, you are up.
Alright. Do I know this thing's true name? Is it just Basilisk, or does it actually have a name?
You're going to have to be more specific. A true name is probably not the thing you're thinking of.
Can I use this on it?
Why does Ziri know true name magic? What the fuck?
True name magic is actually
It's defined.
pretty easy
It
to
is
get.
defined.
Pathfinder.
Oh man,
How many
that
cantrips
is not
do you
like
have?
3.5.
Yeah, no, not at all. This ain't some Fae bullshit. I mean, it is, but it's not.
Very well. Yeah. I
Okay.
will say you do know it.
I'm gonna use that on it.
Can't believe this is how I'm learning that I could have invoked true name
And
on
then
my
I'm gonna
bar.
hit it. Boom!
Very well.
Don't die.
Wow.
It only has a +8 to... Well, never mind.
Well,
That is, however, a critical success Sirius. Despite you invoking its true name, hate and vitriol fuel this thing, and it has no time for your spells as it attempts to devour Gideon.
creature literally too angry to be struck by magic.
Gideon, fortitude save.
Wait, doesn't Zero have a DC 21?
It's a critical success,
Oh, it rolled a 20. Okay, never mind.
which means it's just auto-upgraded, which is impressive.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Guess who else is too angry to get hit by things?
very well. Gideon, you have thrown caution to the wind and are now grappling with this thing, eyes closed.
Yep. That's where we're at now. We're doing it again. I'll just keep it going.
I don't
Sounds
have
great.
anything loaded this time.
That's fine. This is literally just the start to potentially knock it down.
It is a hit because of off guard.
Yup.
That is 13 points of damage as Gideon is now one hand keeping this thing as far away from himself as he can, now having finally shoved it off of him. The other hand drawing and quartering this thing. 2 actions left.
I am weighing 2 options right now. I'll just make a straight up secondary attack.
Very well. That is a crit. The dice have decided that everybody gets it tonight.
Whether 1s or 20s.
The dice
know
heard
what?
that I would like to keep a brisk pace and decided to simplify things.
Gideon looks back into the abyss.
Very well. That you do. Unfortunately, no, Gideon. You bring yourself to meet this thing's gaze to stare it down and realize that you are trying to stare down a basilisk.
Understandable.
You blink first.
I thought it'd be really funny.
Wesk, you're up.
We're gonna running reload to 5-foot step back.
Very well. That is a hit. Roll your damage. It's 10 points of piercing damage as your bullet does find its mark. Busy as this thing is with Gideon.
We're just gonna do a normal reload and that'll be the turn.
Alright. Yeah, I think this thing is just going to try to take you out, Gideon. It's incensed at you. That is a hit. It takes 17
Could have
more
avoided this if I just raised the shield.
points of pierce damage. I'm gonna take Some more pierce damage. 14 more points. And you know what? We're gonna do it again. Unfortunately not. As Gideon, you are being chomped and dined upon, and you are given a first-hand experience of just how strong these things' jaws are. Able to
If nothing else,
crush
by the
rock.
time I'm done here, I'm gonna know exactly how strong the teeth of everything in the gauntlet are. I'm gonna make a whole new pain scale.
Cezanne. Let's hear it.
Yes.
Oh, also fortitude save.
Oh.
Very well. Cezanne, you meet this thing's gaze and your body starts to tense up.
Okay.
You have 2 actions instead of 3 this turn.
Right, I can shoot with the air repeater twice.
I see Raleigh decided to BM tonight.
Somebody had to.
Let's be honest, I tried to stare down a basilisk. We all decided to be him tonight.
That's however a miss, Cezanne, as you realize with some panic in your body is beginning to petrify before your eyes and you lose concentration on your spell. Ziri, let's hear it.
Yeah. I guess we're just gonna do it again.
Can't beat the classics.
Can't.
Unfortunately, that is just kind of how cantrips work.
Well, electric arc's real good anyway.
It is.
10 points of lightning damage, Ziri, as pale green lightning finds its mark this time, delicately tracing over Gideon's form so as not to shock him. Despite Gideon infuriatingly wearing full metal armor and being a lightning rod, you are skilled enough to redirect your beams of lightning to not sear him.
Not gonna lie, kind of impressive.
You got 1 action left.
Someday I'll have more single action.
I mean, honestly, you already picked up a reaction, which is better than a lot of casters do for a long time.
Is sheathing stuff in action? Or
Yes.
just drawing? Yes.
As in to
Okay.
put it back into your bag? Yes.
But you can just drop it on the floor. I do that with my shield a lot.
Alright, I'm going to just sheath something.
Very well. Ziri puts away her weapon. Apparently seemingly quite confident this fight is over.
Understandable.
Yeah.
We're doing it again.
The confidence.
That's a whiff, Gideon.
Great. Great. I'm sick of this. Grabbing it.
Very well. That's a whiff, Gideon.
Send help.
Gideon cannot wrestle this thing as he begins to lose the fight.
It's
And it is beginning to
either
slip out
ones
of
or
his
20s.
grasp.
I don't know what to tell you. I either stab it in the eye or I swing wildly at a wall.
You are having to fight this thing with, glances more so than...
Yeah.
The misses are understandable. Wesk.
We'll go with that.
That's
I'm
a
help.
crit. Snout Cam lives again. It is.
That is indeed help. Oh,
You begin to lose your wrestling contest with this thing only for its brains to splatter on the wall beside of you, Gideon. That is combat off as the thing slumps to the ground.
Let's go. Open the breach, and eject the shell, loading in a new one before spinning it and holstering his weapon for now. Looking to Gideon, pointing to the thing, and then pointing back the way they came.
Gideon's just gonna nod, grab some of the basilisk blood that's on him, and rub it on Cezanne.
Do I have the slightest idea what he's doing? Like, I know about basilisks, but do I know about this?
Well, frankly, Tazan, you're not petrified, you're just kind of stiff, so you didn't really need that.
I can just imagine Gideon walking up to Cezanne with blood on his palms and starting to rub it on Cezanne's cheeks.
I was just thinking I was gonna pat him on the shoulders, but you know.
See, I
No,
I
it's
had
gotta
the
be
Lion
skin
King
contact.
blood across the forehead thing, but, you know.
Cezanne.
Regardless, your marshals are now doubling back the way you
Step
came for some
back.
reason.
Is something the
I'm
matter?
gonna usher him to keep going with my bloody hands.
I don't think we want to fight whatever else that is.
I'm not sure
Whatever
Cezanne
else
even got
what
to
is.
look at.
You don't want to know.
Was there another one of the things from earlier?
Worse.
It was worse. It was much worse.
Which is saying something, Cezanne.
I would much rather fight whatever's in the stairwell than whatever the hell that thing was down there.
I see. Am I supposed to know the stairwell's here? It is illuminated on my screen.
Yeah, it should be.
No, the stairwell's this.
I'm just not sure if I'm supposed to know what's behind this door.
You should.
Oh, you are.
Okay.
It's the entranceway where you came down in.
Yeah.
Are we climbing back up? Going to the door?
Unless we wanted to get back on here, but I think that would require a jump.
Think I'm gonna patch myself up real quick if no one minds.
That's fair.
Gideon's gonna vaguely point at his shoulder. Decently mangled.
Very well, Gideon is taking about 10 minutes to stop and apply some medicine to him. What's everyone doing?
Doesn't Gideon have treat wounds immunity?
You are right. Gideon, you cannot. Your wounds are still too fresh.
I'm gonna cast
Help.
Garden of Healing, but I have to figure out how to get it again. Is it in here? No.
I think I gave it to you on your sheet already.
What sheet?
I don't know, or maybe I didn't.
God, there's so many things.
Yeah.
Isn't that a
I'm
different
like 60% of
apparition?
this game,
Oh,
I'm
you
so
have it.
sorry. What happened?
There you go. I'll just put it back on your focus spell right
Okay.
now.
Thanks.
Just-
Alright.
That's the old one, just don't get rid of it. Very well. Go ahead and roll me 27d4. Is everyone gathering around? God damn. Is everyone gathering around Ziri?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very well. Everyone huddles around Team
I feel like they're
Momzeri.
all pretty close.
Take your healing, boys. Very well. That does take the better part of 10 minutes. Remember, Ziri, you do have to refocus for another 10 minutes to get your focus points back, however.
I was going to ask if I could work on focusing while I follow them wherever we're going next. Or if I just have to stand still and focus.
I will say you are casting it as you are walking right now.
Okay.
Wherever the boys are huddled around you as you kind of walk for the next 10 minutes to your destination.
Okay, so stairwell or up? We should probably decide.
Well, stairwell is back the way we came. Then we're running the risk of whatever the hell we saw down there, but it might be the fastest way to get to Ren right now.
I don't think we want to go back to whatever that was in the stairwell.
Is the door reinforced like the other one?
All of the doors are heavy wood doors reinforced with iron bars. Pretty much every single one of them except these were stone doors.
We could take a peek, though. I kind of seemed like the other hallway was going back in the direction.
Yep, I think it would just connect to another room off to the side of that, but that is a room we could look at. Frankly, that stairwell is the fastest way down. The question is, could we survive that to get down?
Mm-hmm.
Did that stairwell go down more than...
That stairwell
Yep.
was 80 feet down. Easy.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the fastest route to where we were going. It was also haunted by a giant spider thing.
Yeah.
It was you, I see.
Oh. What do the rest of you think?
So we can take a quick look, but you better be ready to slam that door.
Sure.
Yeah?
Indeed.
Well, can I, like, lightly slide the door open, just barely?
Sure, bud. You swing the door open, and once again, this chasm that plummets 80 feet below with the stairway that spirals down. No creatures remain in this room, Gideon. By some blessed miracle. Immediately, Tizan, the smell of sulfur hits your nose again.
I don't know if that's better or worse, actually. I'm gonna whisper over to Wes. Take a quiet look around. Gideon's gonna point to his armor real quick. Clink, clink.
Weskull
You know, the
nod
clink clink
as-
and not the fact that you are a light source right now. Surely that's what makes you less stealthy.
Listen, man. I know what actually makes me less stealthy.
Weskull nod as he presses himself against the wall, trying to blend into the shadows,
Give me that
slipping
stealth
around
check.
Gideon.
Very well. Where are we heading, Wesk?
I'm gonna try to peek over the edge to get a better look at the stairway down.
It's a circular pit ringed with a spiral staircase. Notably, about halfway down is another floor. So about every 40 feet, it looks like, there's another floor. This goes all the way down to floor 7.
Wesk is doing that. You have dark vision, right?
sure does.
I'm gonna go ask Sazan if he can sense where Rin is at the moment.
The doors are heavy enough to close on their own when nobody is holding them open. Wesk is currently at the railing.
Oh, well. I can really only sense it while I activate it. Did I have an idea of how deep down it would be compared to where we are now, or is that too much to know at this time?
Somewhere roughly 100 feet down.
Be about 100 feet lower.
That'd
Roughly.
basically be the bottom of the room. Noting the door is shut. Do I think I could hear Wesk on the other side? Well, he's trying to sneak, so I
He's
guess
trying
not.
to sneak. You should hope you don't.
I'm just gonna listen for anything on the other side. Oh, well, for confirmation, did this door open from either side? That's question one.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bud. I don't really pay attention to what way doors swing. The door opens.
Okay. As long as he can open it from his end, I'll leave it alone.
Then yes, the door opens. They're just heavy doors. They shut on their own.
Yeah. I'll just listen at the door in case shit goes down and I need to help Wes make a quick getaway.
Wesk, what are you doing?
I don't know what Gideon exactly wanted from me. Wesk will.
Jump back up here.
You can either scatter, you can come right back. I don't really care.
Wesk will.
Oh, that's my bad. I didn't realize that I had you still selected. There we go.
Wesk will open the door back up. This will step back through. There's
Clear?
It is clear as it can be. There's another floor about 40 feet down, but it continues all the way down. I do worry about like danger of the monsters further down, but if we want to get to the bottom floor, that's going to be our way down.
Getting
What do you
as
say we
a
chance it?
Knight of Wolfcrone, you also know that it's not a very smart idea to just leave your back exposed, your escape route full of enemies.
Yeah. Fair point. To that point, I think we check out the other room off to the east
Okay.
for the time being.
Yes, let's do so. Figure out what we can about here.
I'll leave the door to you.
I will also say that notably, something each of you notice a lack of. There is a lack of a heartbeat in this room, despite this being a central location.
Okay, it is one of the pillars. I didn't know if it was or wasn't.
The circular shape of the room, unless there's other reason for there to be a perfectly circular shape and perfectly sized room that you're used to. However, there is no heartbeat anymore in the central location. The silence is a little strange.
I'm curious if that's true for the other rooms, but I'm not going back to check right now. There they are.
The nerds rejoin you. This is a rather nondescript hallway that spirals off to the west, capping in a barely visible door to your east, Gideon, with one hallway spiraling off to the north, these tight 5x5 corridors.
Oh boy, we're back to this. Single file once again. We'll look around the corner real quick, and it's a door. Big shocker. Alright, I'm gonna try and open this door. Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
Gotta keep my sword drawn. It's locked.
Sure is.
Well, Weskel, hold on. Weskel reach into the keyring belt and pull out a skeleton key.
Oh, right.
You each watch as Wesk snaps off a key in his hand. It shimmers ethereally, and as he moves it towards the door, you watch as it seems to not ever really form a distinct shape. It slides into the door.
Interesting.
Alright. Wesk will activate the loosen lock ability.
Very well. Go ahead and give me that thievery check.
With the +4 status bonus from knock.
Correct.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Wes, this is relatively new tools to you. Also, altogether, the total is just +5. 1 for the tool, 4 for the keyring. It gives a passive +1 no matter what. It gives a +4 for every key you use.
Okay.
Just a heads up. Despite that, Wesk, you're not able to get this key to turn in this door. And as you go to turn and twist, you snap it off in the lock, and you watch as it just fades away, as if it was never there. You've got, I believe, 6 key rings left.
Yeah. Wesk will mutter to himself as the key breaks, stowing it for now as he just pulls out his regular thieves' tools. And he's just gonna try it without the skeleton key this time.
Very well.
Not much better.
Not much better
But
indeed,
still better.
Wesk. This lock is eluding you, and I'd say after about 10 minutes of trying to pick this lock, you have gotten nowhere.
Let's circle back around on this. There's other doors.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
How hard could it be to find a key in here? We found all the keys so far, right?
Alright, first thing you notice, Gideon, the floor of this room has 2 quite large square pits. There are also 3 more pits to the north. A veritable minefield of plummets into a dark floor that you've not explored yet. You can't see much further than that. However, a strange creature bounds into view. Some sort of rotund thing with many eyes and sharp
Way too many
claws on its feet, dripping some sort of mucus or slime from its mouth. I will also ask if we want to stop there for tonight, because it's relatively late.
It is late.
Might be a good stopping point.
Very well. We will wrap it up there. Short session today, but none we could really do there.
But a good one.
We will. Any last thoughts, any last actions before we continue?
My next thing would be a recall knowledge check, but we can do that next time.
We can indeed do that next time. Congrats to Wesk for using his relic for the first time.
Yay.
Not that it did much.
Congrats to Ziri not getting petrified.
Yay!
And yes, unfortunately the relic's bonus is incredibly strong, but it is not
I
an
guarantee.
instant win.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how they all work. Except for the Sun Sword, which... Duh.
The Sun Sword is also not an instant win button. I hate to break it to you, but...
Would be at this level.
It'd be good. I don't know if
It
it'd
would-
be an instant win.
I'm just saying, if I had that right now, I would feel very comfortable about quite a few of the encounters in here that I am not comfortable with right now.
Well, then you can hug the Sun Sword like a security blanket, just like Top.
Absolutely not. I've got my cheap knockoff and a dream.
I hate to break it to you, Stray's best gear was not the sword, it was the shield.
Yeah, you've
The
mentioned that before.
shield is way stronger and not something I'm gonna give away. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up here. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.